Good morning. This is Dr. Swanberg, and I'm here to welcome everyone officially to the beginning of week one. I want to make sure that you're successful in this week. The first thing I want to talk about is that when you log into Blackboard and you see this pop up, please don't dismiss this pop up. Open it, read it, or click on View All Announcements. I'm actually going to click on that and make sure that you have read all the announcements that are there. I see that most of you did see the first announcement, but that some of you have not seen the other two. So make sure you're reading all of these announcements. The other place to find them is here where it says announcements. You're looking for that little megaphone icon. I am going to go through these announcements with you just to make sure that you've seen them. Remember to close your activity stream. Check your Start Here menu, make sure you've engaged with every piece of that, and then that you've established attendance by taking that syllabus agreement quiz. We also have Zoom help sessions every day. They are actually going to be, I'm going to update this. Actually, I have updated it, and I'll show you that in a moment. Reminders, a few reminders. Attendance has already been logged for last week, but you still have a chance to establish attendance for week one. And if you were marked absent from week one in Blackboard, I will update that this week if you establish attendance this week. So make sure that you're doing that. You have 3 places to be this week. Start Here, part 1, and the weekly assignments. And announcements. Those are 3 places I want you to go this week. I am going to talk about all those things here. The Start Here items. Now, I want to talk about this for a minute. When we first started, I had last week's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as week 1, but that was horrible. That was not going to work out well for students. And whenever anything is not going to work out well for students, I change it. So those few days were extra, gave you time to get through your Start Here menu, and we are now currently in week 1 right now. And that will help you stay on track for all your courses. If you've got a Monday, Wednesday course and Tuesday, Thursday courses that start on ground, we'll all be in week 1 together. And that it also gives everybody a little bit more time here at the beginning to get their feet under them. The master calendar is here and it tells you due dates. It's also in that Start Here menu. So I'm going to go through that Start Here menu. This is what we did last week. We started this on Thursday, and you should have spent your weekend, if you did work in the class over the weekend, making sure you've engaged with each of these things. I don't put something in Blackboard if I don't want you to deal with it. So if it's a document, read it. If it's a video, watch it. If it's a quiz, take it. I also put them in order. And they are meant to be done in order. So if you see this, you should read this first, and then you should watch the video, and then you should look at the syllabus, and then you should take the syllabus agreement quiz. So try to do things in order. You can see that the deadline for this has passed. It may tell you that you are late with that. That doesn't mean you can't complete it. It just means it's late. And there may be an automatic 0 there. The 0 will be updated when your work is complete. And if I have to do an override for that, that's totally fine. It may not be instant, but I will go in and override any zeros that were entered automatically for those of you who do work late. I do leave the automatic zeros in there so that you can have a little panic attack when something's late. Because if I don't, then you don't know it's late and you might miss it. So I leave it on. I know it's uncomfortable, but I do go in every week and make sure that if you did do work late and it's being overridden by a 0, that I go in and fix that. All right, there is a Criterion use quiz. Criterion is the software that is required for this class. And you need to purchase that at the Lawson State bookstore. It can't be purchased in Blackboard or through the internet unless you go to the Lawson State bookstore website and you can purchase it there. A bunch of people have opened this and seen this. This has not been set up by your instructor yet. Please wait. I'm doing that because I'm waiting on this on purpose because there are so many people shifting classes right now. And sometimes even instructors are being shifted around, that I don't want to make a mess for you. So that'll be available by the end of this week. There'll be instructions for setting it up in week 3. But pace yourself. Make sure you have it. That's fantastic. If you have it, just hang on to it. And just hang on to what you've purchased from the bookstore, and we'll get it signed up for our class any minute now. There's that master calendar that you have. Some information about actually, this is old, and I'm going to take this out. I'm going to leave it there for right now, but I think it's empty. Okay. No, I just scaled it down. So there are some things about Blackboard Ultra to learn, some tips for succeeding online, and some, basic rules of decorum. There is information on Proctoru. Our students must use Proctoru. So go take a look at the website this week. Make sure you have the equipment that you need and take this Proctoru readiness quiz. We will revisit that when it's time to sign up for Proctoru. But if you see that there's a problem, that low grade on the quiz should inspire you to start solving that problem right now. You shouldn't get to exam time and realize you've got a Chromebook and can't take the exam. So let's make sure that you're testing your equipment with Proctoru now, and then working on solving that problem if it's a problem. Okay? All right, get ahead of the problems, folks. That live Zoom help session link, I will tell you, and I'll put this in the information about my own office hours. I have in-person classes on Mondays and Wednesdays. One at 8:30 and one that starts at 11:30. And my online students, you are welcome to click on this Zoom help sessions link, and I will have that Zoom session open during my in-person classes. And you are welcome to attend that in-person class by Zoom. Just don't answer when I'm calling attendance because you're not in that class. All right, we are here in week 1. And this is where you should be right now. If you did last week, you finished the things in the Start Here menu, and you are here in week 1. There's a Welcome to Week 1 video. There's a to-do list. There's a quiz on course information. There's a discussion board, which most of you have already done, which is, I love that, how quickly all of y'all got on that. If you haven't done that, make sure that you complete that by Wednesday of this week. And then make sure that you respond to at least 3 of your peers' posts. I would also encourage you to look for those students' posts who don't have a lot of replies yet. It's kind of disappointing when one person gets like 10 replies and somebody else only gets like 1. Try to spread it out. If you can look for those posts that don't have a lot of replies yet and grab those, that really is wonderful. And you have your diagnostic essay. Now, please don't open this until it's time to start. There is a time limit. This is due Sunday of this week. So Sunday, August 29th is our due date. Now, if you've already done it, that's totally fine. You do have 2 attempts. So if you did it and it was rushed, or you opened it to see what it was about and that counted as your first attempt, you can do it again. I'm asking you to please write a brief essay about your experience with the COVID pandemic. What's it been like for you? What kinds of changes have you made to your life? And you're working toward a 5-paragraph essay, but you're using the Blackboard writing space. Don't use Word and upload it in. I don't want you doing that. I want you using the Blackboard space. And I want you to stick to, and I want you using the Blackboard space because it's timed. I'd like to see how much time you're spending on it. And I'd like you to limit yourself to 75 minutes, even if you can't write a whole essay in 75 minutes. I would rather have the snapshot of what you can do in an hour and 15 minutes than have a complete essay. So hear me when I say that. I would rather have you not finish than you use more than 75 minutes, please. Spending more than 75 minutes on this is a bit like, when they take your blood and they ask for a little vial of it and you tell them to go just take a whole pint. You don't need to do that. Please limit yourself to the 75 minutes. However, do spend at least an hour on this, please. I know I could spend 2 or 3 if I really worked, and 75 should be, I don't expect people to be done with a 5-paragraph essay in an hour and 15 minutes. Frankly. So Don't spend less than that. If you think you're done and it's not yet 75 minutes, why don't you go back and see if you can develop your ideas a little bit more. Remember, this is a diagnostic. This is seeing where you are. It's just for a quiz grade. This is not an essay for our class that counts as an essay, although it is kind of a draft of one that we will be working on. Then it counts as a quiz grade. You can, yeah, I've shown you how I'm going to grade it right here. And it does not require criterion use. We will require criterion use after we really like what we've said. This is just a snapshot, so this doesn't require criterion use. So don't fuss over that this week, please. All right, I think that gets us caught up. I will open week 2 on Friday of week 1. I will grade everything in the Start Here menu this week and next. I will grade all of our week 1 things in week 2. So those are not necessarily going to be graded instantly. There's a week delay. I'll grade week 1 work in week 2 and week 2 work in week 3 throughout the semester. So I'm just going to quickly remind you of your locations that are essential locations, the Start Here menu, weekly assignments, and then virtual class meetings. In week 2, I'm going to set you up with Remind, but to text back and forth with me. But in the meantime, if you need to contact me, my email is here under instructor contact information. Please send me an email. Don't use Blackboard messages. Those go into an abyss, please. Use this contact information and feel free to join my in-person classes via Zoom. I can't invite you into the classroom or would be overcrowded during COVID, but you are welcome to join via Zoom any day that you would like to join that live class. The link is right here. Reach out to me by email if you need support this week.